you're talking about plants or something, like I'm also not really good with that.
No, I don't have a green thumb either.
Well, either way, I could keep going because he's the MVP. So we're going to look at some of his plays right now. And you mean die in a good way because that's the objective in Counter-Strike. That's not what I meant.
yeah. So, I mean, basically, it seemed like... Ooh, well, really, Yuri... Once we get to him, just with the AUG especially, just did so much damage on CT side, and we've been seeing a lot of players towards this outside who have kind of been playing for info, maybe giving up their life in situations, but no, not Yuri. He was actually just super solid, a steady pair of hands with that AUG especially, and just kind of outmaneuvering Dignitas and never letting those kind of well-crafted plays get the better of him.
Yeah, and you talk about well-crafted plays. I think one thing Yuri is really good at is punishing any sorts of mistakes. Because if we go back to this absolutely crazy round that we had at the very end, we thought it was done and then it wasn't, it's Yuri just waiting for the smoke to fade, and Dignitas took a second too much to just make their way onto Garage, and then he completely destroys the map. He's got that multi-kill ability on the CT side that is quite singular. Not everyone can do what he is doing, but if you have a mistake, if his setup is a bit janky, if there's something that's missing, he will completely erase you from the server, and that game was no different.
There was someone missing and almost not in the server. I affectionately said he's the greatest because he's a fantastic guy, but Freiberg, he's just not what he used to be, is he?
Freiberg has, at some points, he kind of loses his hands, is the way that Junior put it to me recently, is when an IGL just, they are looking so much at the radar, they're trying to understand the macro implications of all the plays going on, and then sometimes just can't actually, hit the shot when he needs to. There's been moments over Dignitas' history where Freiberg has had a couple pop-off moments, pop-off games, and on Nuke especially, it's a map where I actually do respect some of the plays that he makes, especially around that door position, the way that he's locked it down in the past. But in this game, FURIA did get the better of him, and I'm sure it wasn't any easier for Freiberg, where he usually has a difficult time fragging, when he's playing in with a stand-in, and he has to probably micromanage, or at least he thinks he has to micromanage Twist just a little bit, because he's not next to all reliable in Forest.
Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, of course, we will be continuing on with FURIA and Dignitas. The winner of this will move on to the upper bracket final, and we will be moving on directly into Inferno. So same maps as the last series for the first two. Reverse order. Second time we'll see Inferno. We'll hope it's just as hot, just as spicy. Don't forget, though, that things are not all that hot and spicy in quite the same way around the world right now. And that's why we're doing this. Gamers Without Borders is all about vaccines for charities for communities that cannot afford it through charities. So go check it out, gamerswithoutborders.com. We'll see you in a second, and hopefully we'll see a little more from Freiberg and Dignitas.
When the world has safe and effective COVID-19 vaccines, how can we make sure they reach the people that need them most? Today, there are many vaccines in development. Most will fail. For those that could succeed, governments are under pressure to secure supplies for their populations. If governments compete for vaccines, most countries could miss out. This is not only bad for countries that cannot secure their own supplies. It's bad for us all, as no one is safe until everyone is safe.
we were anywhere near the extent we're at now, Alicia and her team were working tremendously hard to address perceived future drug shortages.
The idea with the ICU kit at the beginning was trying to think of a way that we could help these patients that are critical in ICU settings. In this case, it was kind of the next layer of protection for this response. In the kit, we have a few different types of medications, antibiotics for secondary bacterial infections, as well as blood pressure support, so vasopressors. Things like albuterol inhalers, we were learning, were highly requested in hospitals. Medications that are used for intubation and sedation that help with that process. Each one of these kits is designed to have about 100 courses of antibiotics and supportive medications. The first 2 are headed up to Northern California in the Bay Area, which is especially hard hit, and the next 11 are going to hospitals across New Jersey, and we will have about 80 of them going to New York City. In the end, we're just feeling really fortunate that we're able to support our partners with these medications that they need so desperately.
The wisdom, the expertise that I think this team has demonstrated in being able to help us as a community partner, but also hospitals and healthcare systems around the country struggle with drug shortages, which are now a reality, I think just speaks volumes to the impact DR has.
Well, we get back into our action, our second best of 3 of the day on Gamers Without Borders. Thanks again for joining us. I'm with Maui Snake and Maniac as we fly around the sky and get you back up onto our rooftop patio. Love to get back on patios in real life. Get vaccines, kids. Everyone. I don't know, you might not be kids watching. Just get vaccines. Forrest isn't here. I see a lot of people in chat asking who joined us late. Forrest isn't here because he's actually with his wife right now. They're expecting a child very, very shortly. And obviously, this being a charity event, look, even if it wasn't, even if this was a major, I would expect him to take care of family first. So we hope that they have a healthy child and everything goes well, and that's why Twist is playing. That said, let's focus on this next matchup because we do go into Inferno, guys, and there are certainly some conditions we want to look at, and some storylines that, Maniac, you were touching on in terms of younger players.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we can bring up the comparison between these 2 players, which, to my understanding, are taking different trajectories, right? You have Honda on one hand, which we have touched upon a little bit during that first pre-show, talking about his complicated integration at first, and now he's getting a second shot, which is something I'm very happy about. I'm all about giving chances to rookies and giving them the time to blossom. Heap, on the other hand, I feel like has been a very good pickup for Dignitas. All things considered, I know that this is not exactly the same level of competition that Dignitas play compared to FURIA, but still, the kid has talent. Like, his clutching abilities. Håkan and Dinko were talking about like how he plays the post-man situations. That to me speaks volume as to his game sense. And I'm gonna be real, I'm quite excited about seeing him playing Counter-Strike. I hope there's a future for him at maybe a higher level, because the first images, the first feelings we've got from him are relatively good.
I've been liking Heap as well, Maniac. I think that he has actually... He was plucked from actually an ESEA main roster, and somehow people in the Swedish scene told Vendetta, told Freiburg about this kid who really they should take a look at, and they like what they saw. His comms were apparently great in some of the first scrims that they played with him, and now he's actually a force to be reckoned with. And in this matchup, this Honda versus Heat matchup, we should actually see it come full force, because I think on the B side of Inferno, Heat does play that side of the map, and Honda, I remember at CS Summit back last time they used Honda for Fury, I'm pretty sure they were sending him up that banana position quite a bit. So this should be actually a pretty cool clash of young guns actually coming up.
And it's kind of cool. I love that they found this guy on an ESEA main roster, because it's not like traditional sports in a lot of ways. I know that you have Mountain Dew League, you have main, which is essentially this, but it's less age oriented and amateur sports. If hockey, I'm going to play in my local league. I'm going to make the select team, the AAA team, whatever. I'm going to get scouted by a draft. I'm going to put it on a central scouting website. Teams are going to look at that. They then have their own drafts come look at me, or their own scouts come look at me, and then I get drafted, right? Like that. And that's how a lot of the sports work. We don't really have that in CS, but what we do have is these other leagues and these statistics systems that we can, pry into, and then that sense of community. And these guys, the players, are almost the scouts for themselves in a lot of ways, right? Because these are the guys playing FPL. These are the guys getting to know these people. So it's kind of cool where you see a player come out of nowhere and you think, well, you can't really get to the pros. I don't know how to do that from home. Well, you just got to get involved. You just got to play the game, right, Maniac? I mean, there's a chance.
And I think, honestly, right now is the best time for any young kids out there to dream about, you know, what esports can be for them, because there are so many different platforms to broadcast and showcase what you can do. And I say that coming in from when I had to go through the ranks of Switzerland, we're talking 15 years ago. I'm going to LAN events. The first LAN events I go to, MR12, I think my team won 2 rounds in the entire event. I'm not even joking. Like, we got completely smashed. And then over 2 or 3 years, I kind of gradually went to a better team, and then a better team, and then a better team. And that's how eventually you get picked up. The people don't have to wait that long now. You can just showcase your talent. There's FPL, there's Rank S, there are all these different websites. You can stream as well with Twitch, obviously. So if you have talent, you can just get picked up. You have an opportunity, and that's great.
Do you think there's a spot for scouts specifically for teams, or is that just something that happens organically, like kind of like what we've seen so far?
I think that's a spot. Yeah. Go ahead, we're sorry.
Well, yeah, I think it's up to the coach a lot of the time. Sometimes there's an analyst, and it's usually going to be them working in tandem with what they find, bringing that to the IGL. I don't think we're quite there that there's coaches or really great structures for these kinds of things, but the coach and the analyst can put that time in, and the murmurs in the community will help them spot those kind of young guns, the rising stars, perhaps.
Yeah, the hype. There's always a bit of hype around it, right? I mean, Sidney Crosby, I'll go to hockey just because I'm Canadian, and we can use any sport in this case, but Sidney Crosby was hyped up to be the next great one when he was like 12 years old. And it's kind of hard for scouts to ignore that, or teams to ignore that. So that's how it starts. Sure, I like that. Much like these two talents, because they came through a bit of a scouting system as well, way back. Hawka and Tico, you guys were what, that Face It Caster Challenge, I think it was, and here you are. Look at you guys.
Exactly, working with you again, you know, not looking any older, both of us. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. You know, it's cool to be up here still doing our thing. Alex, still haven't killed each other, so that's definitely a positive. We still like each other somehow, but we're moving into this.
The fact that that's even on your mind is kind of concerning to me, Dinko. I wasn't even thinking about that, but okay.
Yeah, maybe in the future, we'll see. But right now we're doing quite well, and so our Furia up a map as we head into Inferno. A lot of damage done into Art. He's down to 4 HP. You're okay, Alex. Don't worry.
So often the hard way. Oh, I'm sure. Well, I'm at home right now, so I'm alright for the time being. I can be that certain of that.
What do you think? I've come back to the UK. Ooh, Electro going down into middle, boost up into the apartments. Has he actually just missed that timing? Finally gets his kill. Then he up in apartments, and Electro, he's gone down in banana. 2 players in there. One down in the T-stairs as well. As Electro goes back up into middle. And Vinny's just chilling out in the bedroom. And a little bit of a stack here as well. So they're on top of each other, but not in the bedroom now. It's just Vinny in there alone.
I don't really understand why Dig have completely left B. Like, they had Electro push so far down mid into second mid. I'd have thought they would be aware that it could be still going either way. Molly just went into top banana, but I guess Dig know better than me, Dinko, because they are stacking the right site right now. Oh, never mind. They've just rotated away.
Yeah, it's just left up to chance, and they come back. Luckily, Vinny is going to be the front man. I said that, but now Yuri's in front. But Vinny gets the kill, and now he looks for a second one. But Electro just dancing around the boxes. Electro gets away with 2 kills. Yuri continues his good performance from the first map of this series. This is a long pistol round, but Freiburg looks to bring it to a close, hopping right through. Yuri's headshot is so good. Yuri is an absolute animal.
His form today has been sublime. Really cool to see, and you get to see the impact Yuri specifically has with his playstyle when he's having a good game, because he is so involved in a lot of the fights, so involved in a lot of the action. He'll be oftentimes towards the front of the pack and willing to get down and dirty in those early fights. That's what he does there, helping his teammate Vinny, following up for the 3K and putting Dig back down to pistols early in this game. And the scout, of course.
Ooh, lots of damage being done by Yuri on his headshot. Freiburg, the king of banana, has a banana on his gun. That's what you love to see. See if his reign continues against Furia. Twist on his deagle, peeking out from the balcony, taking Art out of play. Had a few Swedish stand-ins. I think Rolf was getting a lot of love over for the Ninjas in Pajamas when Hampton's internet dipped out. Now Twist standing in for Dignitas. We'll see if he can do much in this round. The answer is just no. Vinny, double make it 3 for Vinny, and now it's just Holzer. They know where he is, and Vinny, oh, beautiful round from him.
Lovely work from Vinny and from FURIA in general, because that came pretty tough for them after they took some early damage in that round. It wasn't made easy, but so far it's Yuri and Vinny who have been getting all the kills between them. Everyone else on FURIA has not had to do anything up until this point. And you see Twist able to get a slightly easier kill because of that early damage done, but Vinny trading out his teammates. Dignitas falls back down to a very low buy. Just the one dig picked up by Electro. However, P250. Can't count Freiburg out.
No, you can't, but now you can. He's gone. He's out of play. And Vinny, another 2 kills for him added to his collection. He's just killing everybody at the moment until Yuri decides to get 2 kills.
The same 2 players doing everything.
Well, that's all you need at the start of the map, right? So these softer opponents just send Vinny and Yuri in to start competing for kill count. And it's just Lekro. He was left alone. Luckily, very far away from Vinny and Yuri. How slow FURIA are even taking this. Even against Lekro, they don't want to lose anybody. They can keep it clean. Here on Inferno. It makes sense that FURIA are definitely approaching this with a serious mindset in comparison to some of our other teams so far in this tournament. Because obviously they've just added Honda back into the team, right? So it's definitely a great opportunity for them to get some official practice that aren't really officials. You know, it's just the next level up from practice scrims into what is somewhat considered an official game in a charity tournament. So it's actually quite a good opportunity for FURIA to get comfortable with Honda, play as many games as possible. And I think it's a great chance to do that, and I'm glad they're taking it very seriously as well. Same for Dignitas, obviously, as well, because considering they don't really play around this level too often.
And when they do get to these tournaments, or when they have got to these tournaments, they have showed us that they can be very competitive in them. Another chance for them to prove that again, even if they have got a stand-in. That is a lot of early nade damage onto Horzuk, which you won't be too pleased about. And they've also got to be ready for this top mid play. Vinny leading the charge.
Yeah, Vinny's running. Just doesn't stop at all, doesn't jiggle any angles, doesn't isolate some of the fights, and he just runs around the corner. Horzuk easily taking the kill, but Lekra overwhelmed. Art on the wall bang and right back into a 4v4. Honda is yet to get a kill on the board so far in Inferno, because Yuri and Vinny have been stealing them all away, but this might just be his chance as he's left in archway. He's just going to hold down the fort for the meantime. Could catch a couple of these Dignitas players who are dropping back into CT spawn, and that does leave a big opening if they decide to go up Banana into the B side, which is definitely still a possibility right now for FURIA.
Yeah, they have to be somewhat concerned about players pushed into Banana, though, which is maybe why they're not going back. And without getting another kill on towards A, we could see FURIA try and collapse in on this bomb site. Horzuk still here with the AWP. Nice no-scope, but Yuri's able to trade him out. Here comes the rotate from Dignitas, though, arriving quickly, and the bomb's yet to get onto the site.
Yeah, Freiburg's done a very good job getting rid of Honda, and now Heap over as well. Casterado, quick headshot. Down in towards short, Heap out of play, and now just Freiburg coming back in. This would be an incredible clutch for him. Quiet at times, but this would be a loud round. Freiburg has got his first, Casterado down. Now just Yuri, but he's in the pit, and you're going up against one of the best performers on the server. Freiburg uses the experience, the height advantage up on top of the default boxes, but Yuri not taking the fights. Just stays behind cover and pit. It makes that fight very awkward for Freiburg. Draws the time, draws him into the open, and 4-0 for FURIA. Nice try from Freiburg.
Yeah, good effort from Dig. I think they positioned themselves okay. They rotated decently. They put themselves in a pretty good position, had a pretty good chance of winning that round, but this kill coming out of the apps from Yuri and then the other one from Caserado, that was the one that really changed the round, because he probably doesn't get that kill the majority of the time, but this time he does get it, and it puts FURIA even further ahead. 4-0 lead early, and Art tries to force the issue, but the smoke will slow him down, at least somewhat. You never know with Art, he could still go through it.
You never really know anything with Art, because you either predict something and he does the opposite, or You think he's going to be successful and he dies, you just never make predictions about art. It's probably the least safe option. Unless you predict that he will be unpredictable. Flash at the ready from Freiburg. It's going to pop into top banana. Art dodges it, actually. Actually, he doesn't. I thought he got away from that as we transitioned over to Heat, but somehow it still connects onto Art. Yuri and Vinny, though, taking kills elsewhere. Drawing it back into a favorable situation for Furia almost immediately after losing the initial kill. And now they attack into A. Twist is back in pit, just using that cover of the pit again, but Vinny just shoots right through it. Yuri and Vinny, this is what is happening right now for Furia. It's just two players doing absolutely everything. 2v5 right now.
Call it Vinferno for a reason, Dinko.
Vinferno.
Yeah, it doesn't quite have the same ring to it, but I appreciate that you tried. Gave it a good old college try. I'll give you a C-, a passing.
C-? That's a pass. There we go. I'll take it.
Just about.
Yeah, I'll take that. No problem. I could see you as a teacher, Hawker.
No, I don't think I'd enjoy being a teacher. Depends. Like
having to deal with young people.
I could imagine being like a university lecturer would be more fun, because I feel like the people would actually want to learn and would actually be interested, but being just a normal teacher, oh god.
Yeah, especially when you're a lecturer, you just talk about something you're passionate about all the time, right? It's not like you're having to help the students, etc. Nah, I would definitely hate to be a teacher.
You are meant to like stay after class, and if they have questions, answer them, you know?
Yeah, but that's not exactly the same as being like a primary school teacher or a high school teacher, so less effort.
True. Well, we've got the buyback from Dig, including an AWP for Hulzerk. I think his AWP could be pretty important in denying some of these early plays from Furia. It's actually Dig going for the early play this time, though. Push down mid, Lekro goes for the fight. Hulzerk able to trade his teammate, but just a 1-for-1 early.
And Vinny's about to come out of apartments and Twist. Just keep your gun out, please. There we go. Takes his free kill. Vinny did not check that angle. He was really thinking about the site fight instead of anything else, and when you overlook the balcony like that, you will often go down. Pretty interesting how he didn't even really think about that as a possibility. And because of that, Furia now have lost a player, and given the advantage over to Dignitas, who might just find their first round here.
I don't mind that play from Vinny. I think he was just assuming that because of the aggression down mid, Dig would just be so much more stacked into top mid to help that aggression early. So it's just a read that went slightly wrong, but I think if you have that read, I want you to make the play, even if it doesn't work out. Now, unfortunately for Furia, that it hasn't worked out. They could be in some trouble here. They forced that kill, though. Quesarado getting one onto the B-bomb site, and that should allow them to get this bomb down safe and sound.
Yeah, bomb planted. Forcing the back, Yuri able to find Freiburg. We're talking about the Nitburger. I'd rather have a Freiburger, that would be better. And now Quesarado. Headshot connects onto Twist. Hulzerk this time is certainly ticking, and missing a shot might just be his death sentence. Quesarado with the 3K. He's arrived to the party now. It's just not Vinferno, Alex. It's a little bit of Quesarado action coming in as well.
Nice to see Quesarado showing up to the server. Very impressed by not only Yuri's ability so far to get so many kills, but his ability to stay alive still in these post-plant scenarios. You know, I feel like he is getting some kills early in rounds, and then oftentimes is also alive in the late round to have even more impact, which is really hard to do. Got to give huge props to Yuri so far in this series. I think that's been clear as day. Clear as the blue Inferno sky. Not many clouds in it.
No, there's always something consistent about it, right? The weather is always nice on Inferno. Imagine if we have like weather settings on Counter-Strike like you do in FIFA. You just set it to rainy day in Stoke. Or rainy night in Stoke.
Dude, I remember on FIFA, whenever it would rain or snow, the ball would just start bouncing really high. Imagine that in Counter-Strike, like you throw a smoke and all of a sudden it's snowing and
Molotov slides across the floor
on the ice or something. Oh my god. What a disaster that would be.
Yeah. That would be fun though.
You know what else I was thinking the other day? And this is a really dumb thought, but imagine if you could choose your height in Counter-Strike just to be really annoying and throw off the headshot angles, so you could just be like 5 foot, and then no one would clear you because you'd be a bit shorter.
Yeah, just create a pro. You know, Counter-Strike style.
Or you could be a bit taller and maybe see over the smoke. Who knows?
Yeah, man, there's lots you could do with that. You imagine the boost you could get if you had someone who was like 6 foot, like super tall, and then you have someone like Maui Snake, Blair height, and well, actually, Maui's claiming he's quite a tall guy on Twitter. I've seen actually. Don't know if that's straight up lies. Haven't met Maui Snake in real life, Hawker. You can confirm nor deny.
He's an absolute unit, mate.
He's an absolute unit. He's at the chillest restaurants, does he? The coolest restaurants.
Of course.
It's for the chillest people. Wears the freshest clothes.
You already know.
Has the same name as you, Alex, as well. So you're tight like that.
Exactly. Here we go. I feel like he always gets one with the Dig. It's just a feeling, but it's a feeling that often comes true. Sometimes you've got to follow your feelings, Dinko. Trust them.
I don't have any feelings.
Well, that's a shame. Maybe talk to someone about that.
Why? They'd make me feel things.
Oh no.
You can't feel sad if you have no feelings, right? So that's good.
One way of looking at it,
yeah. But everything's just mediocre. Well, 7-0. It is Furia, who, if they have feelings, will be feeling very good about things. And if you're Dignitas, you're just hoping you don't have any feelings, because this is not good right now at all. Holzer AWP out. Maybe this could be something that turns the tides. Maybe Holzer can pop off and start to take over a few rounds. You'd love to see it. But with how Furia have been playing, just even on a couple of individuals, it's been so good. And Honda, he does get tied up on the cross, does a little bit of damage himself, but neither team lose a player.
Welcome back to top tier Counter-Strike, Honda. Hope you're having fun. Shot through the smoke, instantly down to 26 health. Twist has been traded out towards top mid. Smoke lands in the face of Holzer, while Queserato tries to go aggressive, but Freiberg peeks him while he's playing anti-flash. Nice play from Dig. They get away with the man advantage.
Oh, through the smoke, Freiberg taking a double in the round, and finally it looks like Dignitas is going to get that first round on the board. They come after a bit of an extended pause, and we'll be right back into action for Dignitas, finally tasting a little bit of victory on Inferno. It's the King of Banana looking down upon his serfs, and finally they will revolt. It's a revolution. Let's see if it fails like most revolutions, Alex.
It might. 30 seconds remaining though, and Furia still don't feel comfortable. They still aren't sure if they've cleared out the bomb site, and this time is going to be costly. Lecro in with an early kill. Vinny has to turn round. So close for Vinny with that SG. 15 kills for him now with his signature weapon in that round, but one man too many coming in from Banana, and Dignitas finally have something to get excited about, something to put a smile on their fans' faces. They've got their first round.
Much better showing, and they can get happy about this now, of course. Like you were saying, it's a better scenario to have a round on the board, but what's not fantastic is the weapons they've got to bring to this one. A FAMAS in Lecra's hands, an MP9 in Freiberg and Twist's hands, lack of utility across multiple players. Certainly negatives here for Dignitas, but it's a much better scenario to actually be on the board with a round win. Utility going around the corner at top Banana, clearing out the sandbags. Only some utility down into Banana as well here, trying to force Furia back and dispel any early aggression or attacks, and actually trying to get some information to make sure that that has worked. First of all, flash around the corner, check if the car is clear. Once they do that, Art's gone back in, of course, re-aggressing for Furia, this time getting the kill, and the man advantage now in play for the T-sided players.
And with Art being through the flames, he's going to continue to clear out these angles. No response for Dig immediately, but now Lecro's pushing down mid. I think they'll realize it's the B play. They're realizing too late, though. They're losing all the kills across the map. Vinny has overtaken Yuri as the top fragger as he holds the lurk. Another kill for Vinny. He was one of those players who used to pick up the SG while no one else really did. So it's kind of cool to see him still rocking that to some extent.
pretty sad for Dignitas to come out of the first round win and come into this and just immediately get slapped. It's not even close. Like, you get maybe close to getting a few kills, but absolutely no say in the matter at all. 8 rounds for FURIA now added to the tally, and I am liking that we're getting... We haven't really got to see too much of Holzerk in terms of on the top level, but if you go watch Dignitas' vlogs they do, they used to do... I don't know if they still do them, but I know they used to do sort of like behind-the-scenes content. Holzerk seems to have a good little personality. We got to see it go out in the last map as well, and he was trying to meme around a little bit with some of the weapons he was going for. I think Holzerk could be pretty fun to keep around if he... if his team's not performing much better and getting to these turns consistently, maybe we can tap into his personality a little bit more. I think lots of exciting things about this Dignitas team when it comes to the youngsters. And Holzerk at the start of this round, peering over the top of a smoke. He will be the player that needs to deliver kills. He needs to deliver the goods, and Keserado's taking out his teammate, and that's going to call him off the boost.
Tried to get the hell out of there, Keserato. Oh, he spotted that player in towards sandbags and fully focused on the angle that Freiburg was stuck in. Holzerk not baited by the initial jump, ends up hitting that shot on Keserato, but no kill on the board. Means that Dignitas have no way of winning this round. They're probably just going to try and save that up. And Art will slowly but surely deliver that bomb to the B site. Do you go hunting here if you're FURIA? Do you go aggressive? Do you delay the bomb plant, do you think? Here it seems to think so. Oh, yeah, he's giving away an AK. Bit of a shame.
I mean, you get rid of everything possible over on Dignitas. It's definitely worth running a little bit of risk, considering, okay, you will still have money going into the next round if you're FURIA, but if you can eliminate an AWP out of the hands of Holzerk, you eliminate anything else they had in play, it's definitely worthwhile, you know, losing one AK potentially, or just going in there and trying to take down a few players. Unfortunately, it doesn't work out for Yuri, and I think it's only worth sacrificing one AK, but he didn't get anything from it. And that is the risk you run. And if you are going to send a player off in the hunt, Yuri is definitely one of the players that are more reliable to do so. But Dignitas will thank them for the little gift. A nice AK-47 Fire Serpent. Well, the OG skin's got a golden crown on it as well. I think that's worth a lot of money. That track as well. It's got all of the things you need.
Every single thing that I know very little about, to be honest. Not a skin connoisseur myself.
No, you're not. You're like one of the only casters I know that doesn't have a knife. You and Sadikist are on the anti-skin trend right now, you know. Maui Snake believes that bayonet is the way to better movement, right? You play better when you have a skin in your hand. I think it's true, man. I have better movement when I've got a knife. I'll give in to the placebo.
Ah, man. I play the game as it was intended to be played. Traditionalist, I am.
Adley. Oh, sorry.
Whoa. Hey, now. I don't see you in level 8 on Face It.
No, you don't. Because I haven't been able to play Counter-Strike.
Oh, here we go. Here come the excuses.
And when I do, I play with you, Alex, so...
Okay.
Well, anyway, we're right back into things here. It's a lot of damage done early on. Keserado's down to 24, and Lekro has just cracked open the round 4 his side with a nice little headshot onto Vinny, who has been just unstoppable so far in Inferno. Well, as he often is.
Smoke into top mid. Take away the vision of Twist, who was playing on long. Ooh, Art looking into Banana. Heat playing a dangerous game there, but he gets away with his life all the way back to the bomb site. Not much utility remaining for Dig, though, so they're going to struggle to slow down a push. They're also going to struggle if Yuri keeps landing shots like that. Brilliant kill towards Twist early, and now they're going to pull the trigger on this B play, and Dig don't have the best setup right now.
Keep up on boost. This can be so good to delay the round for FURIA. But unfortunately, the flashes against Heap are just perfect. So that's going to get him off the boost. He doesn't want to stick around while the players are crossing over while he's blind. So instead, he goes up again, reboosted up, gets one from him, and his teammate gets spammed through the smoke. So in the end, it's just a 1-for-1 trade, and the bomb plant starts to come through, and nothing Heap could have done about that. And Art hits the headshot. 2v2. post plant from Furia. Both players are low. Yuri in 48 and Kesserado at 24. So they gather together, hoping that if they combine, they will find themselves the round win. They sit inside of Pool, and the play from Lecro and Holzerk starts to creep their way back from Ruins over the top of the coffins. I like this. Yuri's going to pull the attention away and hoping that he can hide away Kesserado long enough, but that smoke's going on the bottom. The defuse starts to come through. They have to start spamming away, and they get both of the final kills. The limited time mid for a desperate play for Dignitas, and it didn't work out for them. Double figures for Furia, and then really well played post-plant that.
I'm really loving how Furia are setting up these rounds so that it's so often Yuri and Keserato alive in the 2v2s, in the 2v3s. Because I was saying earlier, it's hard for me to pick between those two as the best player on Furia. Maybe you just don't have to pick Dinko. You just keep them both alive in those post-plant scenarios, and they can both deliver.
Oh, good flash. Lycro blinded, forced away. Art's going to smoke on the stairway. Follow-up smoke him in as well, and Art's going to climb over the top of the site, but Heap is so ready for that kind of play. You know what team you're playing against. You have to be ready for that. And Ketsurat is going to go through the CT smoke. Holzer, top middle is his domain. Double kill for him. Ketsurat luckily getting through the smoke, but not in time to stop the death of his teammate Honda. And so Ketsurat now left in a 1v4. Will be a 1v5 total for him, and because of that, it is highly unlikely he pulls this off. Here's the scope of Holzerk in the library. And obviously you're being loud in the library, you deserve to die. And Holzerk goes down. Bomb at the T-stairs. And Freiberg's about to find it. Nice little package for him. There it is. Confirms his vision of it. Serrano with 49 seconds left now. Just sits back with his picked up AWP. Will be a Dignitas round. Very, very likely in the next few moments.
He was not accurate at all there, Keserato. He ended up shooting the floor because he was moving. I think unfortunately for Keserato, eventually someone from Dig probably said, oh look guys, he just doesn't have the bomb. So we can just go push and find where that bomb is. That's the kind of thing that maybe even Vendetta would be watching out for. I know he's a nerd on that sort of stuff. In a good way.
Definitely.
Why does that not
He's
go
also a
up the map?
nerd on American sports knowledge. I feel like
Is he now?
Alvar's got some encyclopedia brain and that stuff. Everything, he just knows everything about it. It's insane.
I'll need to ask him one day then.
Yeah, just
Do
any
the-
question you've got.
Do a trivia quiz for him.
Wonder if he has much time. Now that he's the coach of Dignitas to sit back and relax him out of tier 2 tournaments they're on at the moment. Well, we're not just spring sweet, snow, spring sweet tweets in his head all the time.
You're right.
That's all. Yeah, no, dude. The amount of sweet, whatever the heck title has broken my brain. Just over and over again. It's just it stops my brain from working.
Oh, hey, you have a look at your brain, see how it's doing, make sure it's doing okay. I'll take
Brain
this away
sweet
for this one.
brain.
Okay. Early damage both ways. Oh, nice nades on Banana for both teams. Heap is the one who's feeling that the hardest though, down to 29 health. Here comes Freiberg peeking into Banana. More nade damage done. They're going to line up for him. Freiberg almost gets 2 for 1 there, but Keserato survives on a slither of health. Dignitas though with a good start to the round.
Great start to the round. Getting this opening, taking Banana control with that molly for the time being. I mean, you're not quite holding on to it. So Furia, once that Molotov starts to fade away, I love this. Nervous today, of course, continuing to be brilliant. We always have an incredible in-game team. I believe it's Jakey hitting the buttons now. Rush is he's left early. You know, can't really afford Rush for much more than one best of 3 nowadays. He's got big ego, big rates. He's off enjoying the sunset. And here comes Furia. The sun might be setting on their round if they're not careful. This setup of Freiberg and Heap. Look at it crumble the attack as Honda goes through. He gets spotted and it's going to be Freiberg with the initial kill. But Kesserano and Vinny doing their best. But it's Freiberg that's holding on to the B side. Found 3 kills in this round. And that gives Dignitas a huge chance.
Oh, didn't realize the bomb was all the way down, but Vinny gets a kill and Yuri gets the final frag through. Looking decent for Dig to begin with, but eventually they trade out Freiburg, and then they're in the 2v2. Dig didn't decide to wait for the bomb plant. They thought they could catch FURIA off guard by going aggressive earlier, by maybe going ahead and swinging towards that bomb while it was being planted. They didn't realize that FURIA would be so well prepared for the peeks in from CT. Again, great play from FURIA. They've been getting a lot of success on that B site. They continue to do so. Yuri and Vinny both up at 19 kills each. They've been taken over. Oh, did he just shoot the chicken and then hit Art through the chicken? Is that just what happened? I assume it was also through the wall, but still.
Yeah, obviously through a little pixel as well, but yeah, the chicken got it. Salmonella all over the place. Oh, Heap. This in the shop, it goes back on the second time and hits it onto Kesrado. 2-man advantage now for Dignitas, and there's only 2 rounds up for grabs towards the end of this first half. They can get both of them. It makes a big case for a comeback in the second, or at least set you up for some sort of opportunity. Of course, when you have a team like FURIA getting 11 rounds already on the T side, they are setting themselves up very well for victory in the series, but Dignitas need to do everything they can. They've got to take every inch possible. And Freiburg has been a big part of success in the B site in recent rounds. He's got one to the back of the site this time. Heap with a fantastic round going his way, and Lecro arriving to the party just in the nick of time. It's 11-3 as we head into the last round of the first half, and Dignitas could walk away with 4.
That's more like it from Dig. This time adapting to that B play that we've seen over and over again from FURIA. They get a couple of early kills, but more importantly here, in the mid round, they had a player peeking down mid. They had a player pushed into second mid, so they were able to rotate 4 CTs over to B. They used their counter utility to slow FURIA down, and then they just had everyone in position. Balzac not in the best position at the start of this round, though. Art's already got him out of there. In comes Lecro. SG on the CT side. Works for 1, works for 2, but finally, Honda trades.
McCree, slow fire rate, but quick kills from Lecro. Twist in the pit. Esserado up in apartments. Playing on the edge of these angles. He's really stepped up as well alongside what was the beginning of Vinny and Yuri, but Kesrado was up there with them. It has been a quiet game so far from Honda. This was the map he had his debut on with FURIA when he was initially brought into the team just before the junior project got going. He had a stellar performance on Inferno. A little bit quiet from Honda at the moment, but when your team's up 11-3, you don't really complain much about that at all. This could be a round where they ask something of him. Freiburg in the middle of the site. And eyes on Twist in the pit. That's the position that's difficult to flush out. Honda starts to take the duel against him. Hasn't come out on top. The side player goes down. Freiburg's out of that. Twist with a lot of pressure. Players jumping on him. Heap and Twist getting kills for the CT side, but it's down to just 1 versus 1. Kesrado loses it out to Heap. Another fantastic round from him to close out the half. 4 rounds for Dignitas. A very strong showing from FURIA, though, to start off Inferno.
Not over yet, though. Dig making sure they win a couple of rounds at the end there to put a bit of pressure on FURIA. I feel like a lot of people always say, whenever it's an 11-4 half, it can be a bit misleading. If you just lose that pistol and get off to a slow start, it can very quickly come back against you. So FURIA have got to stay focused here, and Honda has already been dinked early in the round with Dig setting up this fast A play.
Hay bale smoke that allows the T's to get out with some cover, and Heap is down already. Another kill from him, starting off the pistol well and strong for Dignitas, and Twist trying to get into the pit, but getting over the top of Yuri, never an easy task, and you still have to deal with him in the pit now. Lecro runs out of ammo, Yuri as well. Chaos in the pistol round, but FURIA, they've got it under control. It's just Freiburg. Bomb down, jumps into the site, realizing the defuse was coming in a smoke. Immediately causes Freiburg to give up his elevated position in the apartments, and FURIA will be given the pistol. 12-4, strong start to the second half.
Counter-terrorists win.
Nicely done by FURIA. Just staying alive in those positions, back towards the pit angles, back towards those safer angles. They kind of concede site control, but they're not too fussed about that when they've got themselves some favourable fights. On plan for Dig, though, you know what that means. If you've watched Counter-Strike in the last few months, you have seen many a force buy like this do a lot of good things. Dig have got themselves an AK on heat, a couple of rifles, pistol in there too, but some decent utility on Freiburg at least. Definitely around where Dig have to come through, but definitely around where they have a chance to try and come back into this.
Clearing out brackets, no one here at the moment for FURIA. Utility can come in from Dignitas, smoke out towards Library. Got a big throw on him like that. And now Dignitas start to take that long part of A. Was moving up with that smoke, and Art transitioning out of Library over towards the A side, but Twist is in fact going to go in towards CT spawn, and it might just be this B split that starts to come in. Casterado and Vinny will be over here on the B side itself. And Vinny start to drop off into a CT. They need to be careful of this potential split, but they're going to call it off, and they're going back over towards A with 30 seconds left, Holka.
Good kill from Twist, but as you pointed out, time could be a factor here. Yuri's got his AUG, which has been such a good weapon for him so far in this series. He's scoped in on short. Flash comes through. Yuri has to tuck back into the molly, and that means he's in trouble. Good entries from Dig. Solid utility usage to set up all those kills to set up this round win.
Just Casterado left alone. MP9 in hand, and Dignitas, I love the whole round from them. Just slow, methodical, never really committed to anything, left themselves open with lots of options. And FURIA didn't really fight back, right? They didn't really take those options back off of them. I thought Art maybe would try and get a little bit experimental in towards the long smoke, maybe find something over there. If he had found Twist, that would have created a big problem for Dignitas, but they came back anyway into the A site. Not enough hold coming in for FURIA. Take some advice from some crypto experts. Hodl.
I'm not even going to get into anything about crypto with us. I know that's out of my wheelhouse.
Yeah. You not into that crypto stuff, Alex?
Not personally.
You don't like losing money?
My brother was telling me to buy some, and then I would have made loads of money, but I didn't. So that's my.
Yeah, listen to your brother. Listen to your brother.
Well, now if I do, I know it's going to go down because that's just.
No, it's pretty cheap right now. Yeah, but it's already down. So the dip's now. Buy the dip. Sell high. Let's go.
Not financial advice.
Yes, of course. Don't listen to CSGO stream for your financial advice. That's for sure. Especially not me.
Nice little trade early. FURIA won't be too disappointed with that. Problem is, we all know how hard these 4v4s can be on CT Inferno. Right now, they've left B rather weak. Vinny is here alone. You always have to leave some portion of the map weakened when you go down to 4 CTs on Inferno. This AUG skin, by the way, I have so much to say about it. Firstly, I think it might be the worst skin in the game. I think it looks absolutely atrocious. Secondly, it looks like it was made in like bloody PowerPoint, man. Like, was that AUG skin literally made in like a PowerPoint make a skin competition? It looks like clip art or something. Honestly. That's what it looks like.
You've been holding. You've got some pent up aggression for that AUG skin, Alex. How long have you been holding that one?
You're the only person in the game I see using that skin because I just don't understand it. What was it even trying to be?
Yeah, I don't get it. I think it's one of those Danger Zone skins. Maybe came out with Danger Zone in one of the terrible cases, maybe. I'm not quite sure, but Honda. Okay, Deagle strikes for 2 kills, and we'll get right back to the round because FURIA might just be able to take this round away, and that would just be absolutely heartbreaking for Dignitas. That would be uglier than Yuri's AUG skin. And Lecro taking out Yuri with his AUG. Now it's just Vinny, 5'7", long range. Electro uses the AUG to perfection.
I don't have anything else to say about the AUG. That's it.
That's it. Alright, that's good. That's good.
That's all. We can
Other than
move
that,
on now.
But yeah, I mean, it's definitely not the worst skin. That's for sure.
What's the worst skin in the game?
Safari Mesh exists. The Deagle Mudder.
Better than that, mate.
The Deagle
If you've got some like
Mudder, whatever it's
green,
called, it's
if you've
terrible.
got some like dark green gloves or something, or some light green gloves, like I could see how that could kind of work. I don't see what that AUG skin works with whatsoever.
Yeah, I suppose it doesn't really go with many combos. I think you're right there.
Just my opinion.
Fair
I mean,
enough.
you know.
He also doesn't think the new AK-47 slate looks that good, which obviously ruins everybody's opinion of your the amazing skin.
Some people might say that the Viva AUG skin is the worst skin in the game. Actually, some people might say that, but I respect it. It's got an audience. Here goes Lecro with that AUG we're talking about. Apparently, we've been its good luck charm. It's been getting kills since we talked about it. 3v1 Dig will get on down on B. There wasn't much for Furia to work with here, so in all honesty, Vinny getting 2 kills was kind of a massive overperformance. It's a good bit of damage,
Yeah.
realistically.
Especially with the USP from that range as well, right? Because it wasn't like he had distraction. They were just coming into the site. He was double dinking them. I have good confirmation that the Observer is in fact Jakey, but also MC is the man doing the free cam and flying around, catching all the action. So shout out to MC. We just have so many talented in-game people. But here we go into round 20. Furia now getting the buyout. Can turn our attentions back to the Counter-Strike. And the MP9 for Kesrado. You know, I don't really mind Kesrado being on the MP9 here because he gets so much utility out of it. Plus, he's an absolute beast on the gun. So, definitely something capable to come out of that here in this round.
Up onto A long. Vinny beats it with the molly. Nate's going to come back at him, though. That's a good read from Lecro, realizing that Vinny had moved through. I think he may have heard those steps, so good bit of early damage with the utility. Inferno is the map where if you have good nades, you can get your utility damage through the roof, or are teasing us, but not pulling the trigger on the shot through the wall. He's going to go back to B, where he is currently alone. Again, playing CT is scary. If he gets smoked off, he could be in trouble. He's already been tagged, and he tries the wide swing, but now that he's been dealt with, this might just be round over.
And for Furia, you can definitely understand why. Money is not good. They have absolutely no chance to hold on to the B side initially. And retaking is highly unlikely as well, so has to be the safe call coming in for Furia. And here Dignitas go, getting closer and closer to the comeback. It's going to be 8 rounds for them. Furia, if they don't answer in the next round, they are likely to lose the economy again, and maybe a few more rounds coming in play for Dignitas, and right then we see the comeback. We see it all the way through. Well, I'm definitely liking what we're seeing out of Dignitas right now. We're only winning 1 round in the half so far.
And starting to get slightly closer than Furia would have liked it to come. At least they have saved those 4 rifles for this following round. But this is how Inferno can play out sometimes. If you can't get the right reads, you oftentimes have to rely heavily on your sight holds overperforming, which isn't easy to do. Managing the utility is also an important part of this map to slow down pushes, otherwise the retakes are just really difficult. That's something that Furia haven't been able to get going so far. Dig putting a bit of pressure on Banana early, but they're all grouping up into top mid for what might be a quick A play.
Looks like a very quick 8 plays. They start to run it down. Kesserado in the pit. He's about to throw a smoke down, which will neutralize that Molotov almost immediately. And Yuri, double kill. Freiberg and Lekro both tried to run on towards the side, but out from the apartments peeked a deadly Yuri. And now Honda's turn to try and strike into the round. And finally Honda getting a multi-kill. He's had a very quiet performance. Unlucky to him, he hasn't really had many of those opportunities to get those multi-kill lineups. And nice easy kills in front of him. He takes them easily himself. Fantastic stuff from Yuri out of the apartments as well. Can't really overlook how good he is. And Furia, they are now 3 rounds away, and that's a very important round for them to win. Just as I was mentioning earlier, if they had lost that round, then Dignitas find a few more back on the board, and who knows, the comeback really is a possibility. But as of right now, Furia is still in control.
I think for Dignitas, though, that was a round where they were kind of taking a risk. They were just going for a faster play, seeing if they could really punish Furia. Now I wouldn't be surprised to see Dig go back to this slower style of map control. Could already see them contesting Banana. Vinny trapped right now, but he swings before the smoke and gets away with the headshot.
He stole his crown, and Vinny, he's got a double, goes back in, a 3rd kill. This time Vinny has decided to take over Inferno again. Lekro and Twist, they've got to pull back at 2 versus 4. And Art is over here, posted up, ready for Twist to jump around the corner, trying to bait out the shot, but Art does not take it once again. Teased, and finally Art will take his shot, and it's a kill.
Lekro is completely trapped in Banana. 2 players on either side of him. Smoke at top Banana to maybe try and make a play through. He's just heard the AWP shot, so he knows roughly where Art is positioned. He'll stay focused on that angle. Tries to move into B. Nice headshot, but in comes Art. Instant trade. Even though he's not having his best game, he's still confident that he can land that shot. He gets the kill as you would expect him to. 14-8 Furia. Dignitas starting to be in some trouble here. Their money is struggling, and they don't have many rounds left to work with. Oh, there we go. Inferno truly coming through on this map.
Yeah, it really is. You need to understand why that turn has been coined. What from Twist? That is beautiful. Snappy Deagle headshot. Jumps into the underpass and immediately comes up with a kill onto Art. Can't really do much about that if you're Art right there. You just got to accept your fate, and the AWP will be picked up by Honda.
Getting it out of there so that Dig can't steal it, because Furia know it's the Digs they're up against. They've just seen that with the shot that Twist landed early in the round. Keserato commits close. That could cost him here. The body shots are able to get him. Yuri still in short, but Hulzerk turns it round. I thought Yuri had him dead to rights, but Hulzerk whips around with the Deagle, and out of nothing, Dignitas make it happen.
Bomb planted. Vinny, so far removed from the situation. And yeah, just amazing stuff coming out of Hulzerk right there. Explosive, impactful. It's enough to break open Furia. And they've done it at a very good time as well. Look at the money for Furia right now. $600 on Yuri, $850 for Art. At least you've got some money on the likes of Honda. He's got about $5,000 right now, but once the round ends, obviously gets a little bit more on top of that. And with the saved rifle from Vinny, he might just be able to pull together enough to get a decent buy out of this, something you can play with. But you're not going to have every piece of the puzzle that you would like. You gotta feel for Art in that initial peak and mid. Just there's nothing you can do about that kind of play. When Twist hits a shot like that, that's just it's lightning.
Twist pre-aimed the right side of mid as well. You see it on the replay. He's pre-aiming, he's pre-strafing the right side, and he flicks across to the left. That's actually an unreal shot. To be able to pull that off in that quick of a time is incredible. And I know that Dignitas' previous tournament, I'm pretty sure it was Harry who was affectionately calling them Dignitas at some points, because they were winning so many of those rounds. They're finally getting a glimpse of that here.
Yeah, I definitely remember that for sure. They're so good on the Deagles. And that's Twist standing in for them as well. We know how good Forrest can be on the Deagle. Vinny has taken a lot of damage at the start of this, and we have to talk about the investment of FURIA, right? Look how much they put into this. Art on the AWP, you've got Vinny out in the AK, but he's chunked down early. You don't have much utility left, and we know how important utility is for the CT side on Inferno. And you've only got a few pieces left, 1 minute and 10 seconds on the clock. You've got to hope you can get these kills, and Kesserado has to be aware of the potential arch play. Luckily he is, and he's come over here at the right time. They aren't through the archway just yet, and in fact they've decided to leave the arch, and they might just get this A-Rap going. And take a look at the setup. It's Honda, and he has been quiet, but the perfect timing. It's Lecro that pulls out utility, and the kill from Honda might just open things up for FURIA.
Oh, Honda's been dealt with though. That Apps player's gone, but in comes Keserato from behind. Yuri's still surviving in pit. He's finally fallen, but FURIA win the trades up to a 3v2.
Oh, Keserato quickly headshotting Heap again, so it's just down to Freiburg. 2 players in front of him that are low, and no kit for the FURIA players. There is one on the floor there for Keserato, but he has to get this kill quickly now. Freiburg found the first, Art down, and Freiburg bullets whiz past his head, but he uses his cover, he uses his experience, and this might just be enough for the round win as Keserato creeping close, tension builds, Keserato finds the kill, but is there enough time for his defuse? He gets onto it, he sticks it through, and just about getting it over the line for FURIA. Freiburg just does his best. I think he stays alive as long as humanly possible. That is just not enough in the end.
That's such a perfect time to turn the X-ray off too, because you really get to see how hard it is for Freiburg to figure out exactly where Keserato's coming from. Keserato did a really good job at playing with those angles and constantly giving a little bit of information and then finally committing to something unexpected up on top of the box. Freiburg unable to react in time. So tense there for Freiburg. He did such a good job on that first frag, on that first fight. But Keserato able to deal with him, and it's FURIA with a few series points.
Oh, Art trying to get all buying picks. This not too far off him. That would be a fantastic start if he was able to get that, you know, putting FURIA up into an early advantage into a round they want to close out, win the series. Heading to the upper bracket match will be played at the end of the day versus one of our previous matchup, Big. He's now coming into the B side. Art and Keserato getting their first kills is absolutely shut down. Keserato getting 3 for the back of the site. And now it's just Holzerk left alone, climbing his way into the B bomb site, but so many shots from so many directions. He's got to figure out where he has to look, and with the AWP, he doesn't have many options around him. It's 16-9. FURIA move into the upper bracket. They're showing up in this tournament, and I'm looking forward to seeing how Honda continues to slot in to break down all the action from this series at Sidicus on the desk with the guys.
I am here indeed. There are 3 of us here. Really, there was kind of only 3 FURIA players in that server. Thankfully, Vinny was on fire, and so was Yuri, as we see some of the highlights on screen right now. Incredible, I have to say, the way that they were able to get this done. But Dignitas, not necessarily the greatest showing on Inferno, as we join once again Maniac and Maui. And yeah, I think this was very much about the fact that Vinny was exceptional throughout.
Yeah, Vinny's an extremely good player, and obviously the Inferno meme doesn't come from nothing. He has this ability to take over on Inferno. Also, FURIA in general, and I'm gonna make an honest statement here. I think their T-side Inferno is their best T-side